Greetings, I'm Charlene Michelle, author of Women Who Ain't Afraid to Curse When Communicating with God. And I circle back 2 years later after it was written and published to go over some of the main hitters in the book. So I actually gifted a copy to one of my student turned homies for her high school graduation gift. And her review basically was that you need to do a YouTube video on every single chapter of this book. And while I'm not doing a video on every single chapter, like I said, I will hit the main hitters. And my goal is to be able to do these in less than 7 minutes. So let's see if I can make that happen. Now, as for a little context, every chapter, every lesson, starts off with a quote. Then it goes into a writing prompt, some thoughts, body text, and then it ends with the meditation. Now, the first quote for lesson 1. I be wanting to speak on stuff sometimes, but Spirit be like, leave that shit alone here. And I'd be like, yes, ma'am. I love that quote for so many reasons. One, I love that I honored how it came to me. So spirit and cursing in one sentence. Like, how does that work? That's how it comes for me, and I honored it in just that way. That southern slang here, you know what I'm saying? Hearing that grandma at the end, leave that shit alone here. That's how it showed up for me. I love that I honored that. Another reason is this is the one quote that is the reason this book came into existence. So it started off as just something I posted on Instagram. Someone liked it too. She screenshot it, cropped my name off, reposted it, and it went viral. I didn't even see it. One of my friends saw it first, tagged me in it, and said, hey, this sounds like something you would say. It is. I said that. So, but I was angry for a long time. But I released that, like I said, and especially now that it's a book, and the book is doing amazing. Women are buying it, loving it, benefiting from it, and that matters a lot to me. So over that, and in this chapter, so in this lesson, so I really admire too that I can kind of come back to this with like my 2 years later perspectives. And it talks about intuition and also intuition suppressors. And so basically how our intuition is our internal GPS. So it tells us when, where, how to act, and with whom. However, we're taught, told, and shown how to suppress our intuition. That's been demonstrated and told to us for so long. Like before we were even speaking, we were taught how to shut up what we feel, what we know, what our gut, spirit, mind, body, soul is telling us, you know what I'm saying, to act according to the social norms or what's right instead. And of course, as we know, like, fortunately, if we ever, eventually come around to the age and the younger, the better, to like, nah, I'm honoring what feels right to me. It might not necessarily be what's right to everybody else, but I have to rock with what's right to me. I remember being in high school and being invited out to certain outings and not want to miss out. So maybe I will go anyway. And almost always something happened. It's just like, I should have stayed home. Maybe even being on Facebook to this day and seeing somebody post something so ridiculous, and I just want to post it and give them my 2 cents, give them my peace of mind. But it's like, and I can go back and forth with whoever. I could just drop what I wanted to say and don't say nothing else to nobody else on it. Or I can just do like Spirit tell me to do most of the time and just leave it alone. Venting, and I mean it in the context of I was going through something, I wasn't clear about something, so I went to Spirit, my higher self, God, with it, and I got my answer. However, when my homegirl, my partner come around, now I'm bringing it back up and I'm talking about it as if I really don't know what to do. Spirit be like, nah. Another one, explaining myself. So maybe I don't want to do something, or I'm ain't gonna do something. And feeling the need to explain why, to justify that. Nah. As in being an entrepreneur. And so, a contract comes up and something just in me just say, don't do this one. It might not necessarily have anything to do with that person. Sometimes I don't always know why. Maybe it's just a feeling. And so I won't take on that particular contract. But I do something that helps me tremendously is seeing everything as a relationship. So my relationship to myself, to my body, to my spirit, to my money, to my children, to my visions, etc., to my work, to my craft, to my students. And then feeling through it and seeing, does this still feel good and why not? I think somewhere we're often misled is to believe that once we're doing work that we love, that's all there is to it. You're going to love it, and it's never going to feel like work because you're never going to work a day in your life because you're doing something you love, and that's not the truth. Yes, you love it most of the time, and you'll always love it. It's like a relationship to anything else, right? Like that romantic partner. You love them, but that don't mean they don't get on your nerves every now and then. And that's the same thing with your work. So maybe sometimes you just feel overwhelmed. And so in that moment, it's really important just to stop and evaluate it. Like, is this something I need to resign from? Do I need to take a break? Or push through, you know? And so looking at this relationship really helped me in that way. And where I'm at with time. So I have another minute and a half. Yay! And I also wanted to read to you the meditation. It served me to this day, 2 years later. So I thought that was really powerful. So I'm definitely going to read that before my time is up. But also the last paragraph of the body text. Good news. As long as there is still breath in your body, your intuitive self is still present. She's still speaking. In fact, she never stopped. You just stopped listening. Come back home and reunite with the carefree, all-knowing little girl inside of you by listening to her and taking heed. Release those parental suppressors. Don't let them inhibit your natural intuition. And then for the meditation. Find a quiet space clear of clutter. Get comfortable and begin taking long, deep breaths. Once you're relaxed, ask yourself what you want. Your answer is your intention. Now that you've set your intention, relax your eyes and listen. Your womb will tell you which thoughts are distractions and suppressors and which are wisdoms and intuition. Just listen. Afterwards, go back to the list that you created in your writing prompt and journal about the ways to integrate more of this intention into that list. And I'll actually add that writing prompt at the bottom in the comments, maybe. But I appreciate you for tuning in. Ashe, namaste, and amen.